More Americans are now claiming Canadian citizenship by descent as growing awareness spreads across the United States about Canada's new citizenship rules and the opportunities they may create for people with Canadian ancestry. From New England to the Midwest and beyond, many are searching family records, contacting archives, and ordering old birth certificates after discovering they may have had a path to Canadian citizenship all along. What once seemed like a distant family connection is now becoming a real legal and practical opportunity for thousands of Americans. This shift began after Canada changed its citizenship rules in mid-December 2025. The new law removed a major restriction that had blocked citizenship from being passed down beyond the first generation born outside Canada in many situations. That means many people born before that date, who were previously excluded, may now already be Canadian citizens if they can prove an unbroken line of descent from a Canadian-born or naturalized Canadian ancestor. Instead of applying to become citizens through the usual naturalization route, they apply for a citizenship certificate that confirms a status they may already have by law. That is why interest has surged so quickly. Millions of Americans are believed to have Canadian ancestry, especially descendants of families who left Quebec and other parts of Canada generations ago in search of work and new opportunities in the United States. Now, many of those descendants are seeing Canadian citizenship as both a connection to family heritage and a practical backup plan. Because both Canada and the United States recognize dual citizenship, claiming Canadian citizenship does not cancel American citizenship or take away rights in the United States. For many, it feels like a valuable option with very little downside. One of the most striking parts of this trend is how real applicant timelines are differing from official expectations. The posted government estimate for a citizenship certificate is about 10 months. But some applicants sharing their experiences online are describing much faster outcomes, especially in well-documented cases. In one widely discussed timeline, a family tracing citizenship through multiple generations mailed the application at the end of December, received acknowledgement in early February, requested urgent processing the next day, and had a decision by late February. A social insurance number followed almost immediately, and a Canadian passport arrived by the end of March. That meant the citizenship certificate came in under 2 months from mailing, and the passport arrived in about 3 months. Those faster cases appear to share some important patterns. They are usually clean, well-organized applications with strong documentary proof at every stage of the family line. Long-form birth certificates, marriage records, and clear evidence linking one generation to the next can make a major difference. When there are no missing records, no major inconsistencies, and no need for officers to ask follow-up questions, the file can move much more smoothly. Urgent processing requests can also speed things up in certain cases, although not everyone will qualify. Eligibility depends largely on two things: when a person was born and whether they can prove direct descent from a Canadian ancestor. For many people born before the rule change took effect, the path is much broader than it used to be. In many situations, there is no practical generational cutoff as long as the person can document a direct chain back to a Canadian-born or naturalized ancestor. For children born after the rule change, a new substantial connection requirement applies, meaning the Canadian parent must have spent a required amount of time physically present in Canada before citizenship can be passed on automatically. For Americans who think they may qualify, the process starts with paperwork. That often means gathering long-form birth certificates for every generation, collecting marriage certificates or legal name change documents, and, in older family lines, finding baptismal records, census documents, or historical records that help establish the connection. Once the chain is complete, the person submits a citizenship certificate application, pays the fee, and waits for acknowledgement and review. After approval, the certificate becomes the official proof needed to apply for a Canadian passport. For many Americans, the appeal goes far beyond symbolism. Canadian citizenship can open the door to living and working in Canada without a visa, accessing provincial health care after meeting residency rules, studying at domestic tuition rates, sponsoring eligible family members, and holding a second passport with broad travel access. At the same time, this growing movement is also raising debate in Canada about how far citizenship by descent should extend and what the long-term impact could be. But for Americans now exploring their roots, the immediate reality is clear. A family connection that once seemed like old history may now lead to a very real second citizenship.